I think it's such a special place, and I'm definitely going to remember it for the rest of my life.
How's it going, everybody? Wes Davies here. Welcome back to another YouTube video. This is a very special one because I am here with, believe it or not, my long-lost cousin. Long-lost cousin. The last time I saw you was in 1996, and you were literally a baby.
Like that big.
Like that big. So this is Sean, and Sean lives on the west coast of Canada, or he used to, and I met you when you were a baby when I was traveling with my family. So Sean, what brings you to Taiwan?
I'm here visiting my wonderful partner, who's just up of the screen right now. You can't see her.
Yeah.
But also to check out Taiwan as well as a whole. I'm here for like the next 2 weeks. So I've been going up from the north side of Taipei down to Kaohsiung, which is probably the farthest south I'll end up. And then in a couple days from now, I'm going to be heading to Australia. So that's going to be me.
And your partner is actually Taiwanese, and you guys met in Australia where you live, is that right?
Yeah, correct. So I've been in Australia for about like a year and a half. Within the first few months of being there, I got to meet my now partner who, was from Taiwan and got to tell me all sorts of things in Taiwan. I got to meet her family here and stuff, so.
I wonder if there's something in the family, you know, because I live in Taiwan. Obviously, my girlfriend Evelyn is Taiwanese, and my long-lost cousin, your partner, is Taiwanese, and you're here in Kaohsiung with me. It's kind of, I would say, serendipitous that you're actually here visiting Kaohsiung right now.
Something about us Canadians, I suppose, coming over to Taiwan.
Yeah. Well, I always think that it's the weather in Canada. The winter sort of drives Canadians away, and we tend to seek out warmer locales. I moved to Taiwan, you moved to Australia, which is clearly warmer than Canada, right?
Definitely.
So what's your life like in Australia? Do you enjoy living there?
Yeah, it's been easygoing. So been there for like a year and a half.
Okay.
Australia is really pretty and wonderful too, and just as you're saying, like it's much warmer. So I grew up around mountains and things like that.
Yeah.
In Australia, instead of mountains, you have beautiful beaches, like wonderful sandy beaches. Life there is just a little bit slower than Canada. I feel like we're trying to be a little bit more American in Canada in the sense of everyday work life. Australia, even the busy cities have got a bit of that, but like in general, the lifestyle is just a little bit more laid back.
You always hear the old adage, Australia is kind of like Canada, but with better weather.
100%. Yes.
And more surfer culture, I guess, maybe.
Definitely, yeah, way more beaches to get to do some surfing. So, yeah.
And your career is focused on media and journalism and production as well, right?
Yeah, so I'm multimedia specialist and producer and stuff. So my background came from journalism, but also really loved like the documentary space and stuff. So I came out of space doing audio documentary and like podcast stuff.
Oh, okay.
Fun. But
do you have a podcast?
I was working on a few shows back home through a production agency and so on. And now I'm over in Australia and kind of seeing their side of it and what their production is like. So freelancing there at the moment, but then have been meeting some wonderful people in that space and doing some cool work with that.
So now that you're here in Taiwan, how long have you actually been here on this trip?
Let's see, probably about a week and a half.
A week and a half.
Total, I'm going to be here for like 2 weeks, so I've just got a couple days left.
Okay.
And then I'm heading back to Melbourne, Australia.
And the million-dollar question that, you know, my audience is probably wondering, what do you think about Taiwan?
What do I think about Taiwan? Well, I think about Taiwan is that it's a beautiful country. When I first got here, I was quickly told about one of the original names for Taiwan was Formosa, meaning beautiful island.
Yep, beautiful island.
And having come from the west of Canada,
which is a very beautiful place.
Very beautiful, massive mountains, covered in snow and stuff. But I've missed the mountains for so long. And going into the north side of Taiwan with the hills and mountains and things like that reminded me of that. Like, it was absolutely breathtaking, and it made me think of home a little bit because I was feeling homesick, missing the mountains. And then the people are just so nice, so accommodating, and the food is just delicious. So
yeah, what are some of your favorite Taiwanese dishes so far?
Oh my goodness, where can I start? Well, okay, I love breakfast.
Yeah,
I'm a breakfast person, so Taiwanese pancake in the morning is delicious.
The danbing.
Easy going. Yeah. Grab one of those. Surprisingly, a lot of like some Japanese food that come across as well. So little diners and things like that.
That is one of the great things about Taiwan, is that it really actually does have an international food scene.
And
have you tried niu rou mian? Beef noodle soup?
Beef noodle soup? I have, yes. You might have to translate some of the names because I'm still learning a bunch of the names.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some beef noodle soup when we were in Tainan, and that was really delicious. I think that's my favorite.
Have you tried stinky tofu?
Love stinky tofu.
You love it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenny, who's in the background, is a huge advocate for stinky tofu. I don't know to what level of stinky tofu I can go, but I've definitely had some and it's delicious. So I don't know.
I always say the stinkier the better.
I think a lot of people say that.
Yeah. And how do you find the transportation? Because I actually think that Taiwan is kind of in the upper echelon of public transportation. It's really easy to grab a bus. There's the MRT. There's tons of like U-bike stations if you want to rent a bike for the day. How have you found the transportation in Taiwan?
Okay, well, I mean, okay, I've got some thoughts, some opinions about the transportation.
Okay.
All positive, because coming from a place like Canada, you're on the east side. You were originally from the east side. I'm from the west side. But never do those sides ever meet. Like if we saw each other, it would be years and years from each other. Yeah. We'd barely, like you said last time you saw me, it was like I was probably this big, right? Yeah. And that just goes to show like how back home transportation is really lacking. So when I come to a place like Taiwan, it's like I've just entered into a whole new dimension. Like when I hopped onto the high-speed rail and was able to go from Taipei down to Tainan in like a matter of hours. Yeah. That just blew my mind. And I feel like it makes Taiwan as a whole like feel so much maybe tighter but smaller, but because
it is not a huge island to begin with, but just the very fact that you can travel from north to south, which is more than 300 kilometers in like an hour and a half. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. And to know that like back home, forgetting like high-speed rail is like way off into the distant future. Like they're talking about it between Ontario and Quebec, but who knows when that's gonna happen. And that's only a small fraction of the country. Whereas to know that in Taiwan, almost the whole landmass, like where the main cities are, you can connect with high-speed rail just like that.
And it's the construction is so efficient here too. I mean, Taiwan just decides, okay, we're gonna do high-speed rail, and boom, they build it. Whereas in Canada, there's so much, you know, litigation and planning and inefficiency that if we wanted to even build a high-speed rail between 2 or 3 of the major cities, I feel like that would be like a 15-year project, billions of dollars. Yeah. So I really love that about Taiwan, that it is so efficient, and when they want to do something, they can just easily get it done.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like there's a lot we can learn back home from transportation.
Definitely.
So yeah.
And how's your Mandarin? I know you're just kind of a
not good
tourist.
I've only been here for 2 weeks and stuff. I think I can get in with a hello and thank you and sorry. And you know.
Those are very important words though.
Yeah, it's just and like yeah, all that stuff.
对不起，不好意思。
对不起, yeah. So if I had more time here, I would love to learn more Mandarin and stuff.
I really enjoy learning Mandarin. It's half very simplistic because they don't have a lot of the grammar restrictions, like the complicated grammar that we have in English. So to speak Mandarin, I think, is quite enjoyable and usually relatively easy to learn. But the problem is the Chinese characters.
Characters? For me, it was a tonal thing, because like saying one word, but like, because in English you don't care about tone.
Shui.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm going up, down in a tone. I can't navigate it. I'm always scared that I'm saying the wrong thing if I do try one.
I have the famous story, like I tell my Taiwanese friends, oh, I'm going to Jiufan this weekend. They're like, where? Jiufan. Huh? Jiufan. They're like, oh, Jiufan. Isn't that what I was saying the whole time?
The same issue, yeah.
So it's always a bit of a language learning adventure here in Taiwan. I don't know if my keen-eyed viewers will be aware, but we are in Monkey Mountain here in Kaohsiung. Sean really wanted to come and see the monkeys, because in Canada we do not have any monkeys. Like, seeing a monkey for us is actually kind of a special, unique experience. So have you been able to find any monkeys here on Monkey Mountain, Sean?
So okay, I've had a picture in my mind that we would have to climb up into the mountains, maybe come across a small family of monkeys, and I have to be quick on my camera to like capture them. Yeah. Before even touching the mountain, a bunch were passing through the temple nearby, and we saw one chilling on the steps, and we thought, oh, that's a really cute monkey. And then within seconds, it saw somebody, ran, jumped over a railing, and grabbed their groceries and ripped it and pulled away all their food. So very quickly saw lots of monkeys and saw that they are very familiar with people.
So you were not disappointed?
I was not disappointed, and was able to it's easy to get up and close. You gotta respect the monkeys. Yep. 100%. respect their space, but I was definitely surprised that I was able to see them so quickly.
So Monkey Mountain does indeed live up to its name.
It does live up to its name, for sure.
So in terms of traveling around Taiwan, you said you were in the north for a little bit, and you've been spending some time in Tainan and now in Kaohsiung. What are some of your highlights that you've seen so far with regards to the cities here?
So starting from the north, I went to Zhoufan. If I said that right.
I hope so. I'm unclear about that as well.
Gotcha.
Zhoufan.
So I went there. It was beautiful. I mean, people say that it's like the Studio Ghibli inspiration for Spirited Away.
Right.
You can totally see why. If that is true, if that's the true story.
I think it is, actually.
So that was like a really cool thing to see. And then for Taipei, I just thought, you know, like being able to go out during the evening where all the street markets are, always be able to get like lots of delicious food no matter what time. And it's so lively a city. And then again, easy to get around. So,
yeah, the night markets are so awesome in Taiwan.
Yeah,
I love them.
I feel like this trip has been like going from night market to night market in a few ways, just because we're like, oh, let's get into dinner.
Yeah.
Let's find some food. Oh, well, we don't have to commit to just one restaurant.
Right. For a relatively inexpensive price, you can go to a night market and just try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some stinky tofu, some chicken feet, or whatever your heart desires, right? That's one of the reasons why I love Taiwan, is just the food culture is something that we really don't have in Canada.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, it's like rare. If you like, there's a food truck or something that you can set up, and it'll be like in a small little space that you get to see, and it'll be like, have to be governed by the city in order for it to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas out here, it's just sort of like the motion of the day. It just opens up, and like a whole street is now full of food and trinkets and things that you can buy and eat and enjoy. So yeah.
By the way, this is one of the quarries that I was telling you about.
Oh, okay.
So maybe a lot of people don't know this, but back in the day, Monkey Mountain was a huge gravel pit. They would sort of dredge up all the sand and the gravel that was here, and then create concrete when they were building up Kaohsiung. And after a little while, the government realized that actually they were destroying the beautiful nature here in Monkey Mountain, so they put a stop to it. But here we can actually see the old remnants of that kind of industrial past here on Monkey Mountain. So just wanted to show you a little bit of that.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm glad that they made that decision. As far as if it would have pushed off the monkeys, I might have not been able to see them today. So.
All right, so I think it's time to wrap up. We got to get going. But could you give the viewers just one final thought about your experience here in Taiwan?
Okay, well, I think one final thought, put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it is a beautiful country, and I think that there is such unique culture, unique, you know, experience as far as meeting people. And I feel like it's something you only really see in Taiwan itself. So I'm just super happy that I've got a chance to experience and see that. All the way from the north, you know, going from a busy city like Taipei down to seeing smaller areas on my way down to Tainan and now Kaohsiung. I think it's such a special place, and I'm definitely gonna remember it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, it's so nice to reconnect with you, man. Like,
yeah,
after
cheers.
What, almost 30 years, literally?
30 years.
So yeah, thanks for coming to Kaohsiung to see me, Sean, and I'm happy you're enjoying your time here.
No worries, let me know if you pop by Australia.
Absolutely, I would love to.
Right on.
All right, everybody, like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions for Sean. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Cheers,
Ciao.
guys.